Walk through any dealer, and they will push you toward a shiny new SUV with a payment that follows you for years. But the smartest older drivers are not biting. They are quietly buying these 12 instead. Just as comfortable, far cheaper, and easier to trust. Stay to the end, because number 1 scares dealers. The buying rule is simple. A lot of older drivers do not need a brand new SUV. They need the right SUV, easy to get in, easy to see out of, simple enough to use without fighting a giant touchscreen, comfortable on a long highway run, reliable enough to keep for years, cheap enough that retirement money, savings, or fixed income does not get eaten alive by a loan. According to recent Cox Automotive data, the average midsize SUV transaction price is around $50,000, and compact SUVs are still far above $37,000. Here is why that matters. Even a clean used SUV can save $15,000, $20,000, or $30,000 before you ever talk insurance, taxes, tires, or finance charges. For buyers, that means the used choice is not always the cheap choice. Sometimes it is the smart choice. The dealer wants you focused on the monthly payment. I want you to focus on total cost, purchase price, repairs, fuel, tires, visibility, seat height, control layout, and long-term stress. For every SUV here, we will name the buying reason, give the price proof, explain why it matters, show the owner impact, and give a clear takeaway. If this kind of straight buying advice saves you money, subscribe. We are building this channel for drivers who want the truth before payment. Number 12. Ford Edge. The main buying reason is big comfort without the big new SUV payment. A 2015 through 2018 Edge gives older drivers wide doors, a friendly seat height, a quiet cabin, and enough width that it does not feel like a tin can on the highway. According to Kelley Blue Book, a 2018 Edge can sit around $10,200 for an SE and about $15,500 for a Sport in typical dealer condition. Here is why it matters. That is used compact money for a roomy midsize crossover, while new midsize SUVs average near $50,000. For buyers, that means the Edge can leave a repair fund, tire fund, and insurance breathing room instead of locking you into a painful payment. The cleanest mechanical angle is usually the naturally aspirated 3.5 V6 DAS because it avoids small turbo stress and gives smooth power without working too hard. The 2.0 EcoBoost can be fine, but only with clean oil records and no coolant loss story. On any Edge, inspect cold and warm transmission shifts, front suspension noise, brake vibration, tire wear, rust underneath, power seat function, rear camera, and liftgate operation. On all-wheel drive models, ask about PTU service, because that unit can suffer when nobody changes the fluid. Choose this one when you want roomy comfort, easy entry, and a quieter highway ride, without Toyota or Lexus pricing. The warning is simple. Do not buy the cheapest Edge if the transmission hunts, the PTU growls, or the turbo engine has a mysterious coolant history. A used Edge is not trying to impress the parking lot. It is trying to make errands, doctor visits, and 300-mile highway trips less tiring. It starts the list because it is the comfort bargain people ignore. Number 11 gets smaller, easier, and better for older drivers who want town life, not bulk. Number 11. Honda HR-V. The main buying reason is easy city ownership for drivers tired of oversized SUVs. A 2016 through 2018 HR-V is small outside, useful inside, easy to park, and simple to fuel. According to Kelley Blue Book, a 2018 HR-V can run from the mid-16,000 range into the upper 17,000 range, depending on trim and typical dealer condition. Here is why it matters. A new small SUV can still climb near $30,000 once trim, destination, taxes, and dealer extras show up, while the used HR-V keeps the same basic crossover usefulness without the new payment shock. For buyers, that means less money tied up in a vehicle that mostly does errands, appointments, groceries, and family visits. The 1.8 Honda 4-cylinder is the reason I trust it more than the horsepower number suggests. It is naturally aspirated, tied to the Civic family, and built for steady use. It is not fast, but fast is not the mission. The warning is the CVT. I do not hate every CVT, but I want proof. Ask for fluid service, especially if the car has been in stop-and-go traffic. On the test drive, feel for shudder, delayed engagement, whining, or odd surging. Also check air conditioning, rear door handles, hatch operation, seat folding, brake wear, tires, alignment, and curbed wheels. Choose this one when you want the smallest SUV that still gives a higher hit point than a sedan. The buyer impact is convenience. Smaller doors are easier in tight lots, fuel use stays reasonable, and the vehicle does not feel like work to park. Skip it if you need heavy highway passing, towing, or a luxury quiet ride. That is not its job. Its job is tidy, cheaper, low-stress daily movement. The HR-V works because it asks less from the driver. Number 10 keeps the soft ride idea, but adds quiet comfort and a badge most shoppers stopped respecting too soon. Number 10. Buick Envision. The main buying reason is quiet comfort. After depreciation already did the painful part. A 2017 through 2020. Envision is one of those used crossovers that older drivers should notice because it is soft, calm, easy to enter, and usually cheaper than the comfort suggests. Kelley Blue Book values for a 2018 Envision often sit around the low to mid-teens, depending on trim, while newer compact luxury SUVs can cost several times that. Here is why it matters. The first owner paid for the showroom shine, the early depreciation, and the premium positioning. The second careful owner can get the soft seats, relaxed ride, and calm cabin for far less. For buyers, that means a used Envision can feel more expensive than it is, especially for someone who cares about ride quality more than badge pride. The long-term simple pick is the 2.5 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder when available, usually in lower trims. It is not quick, but it avoids the extra heat and complexity of the turbo versions. The 6-speed automatic is familiar and easy to judge. If you shop for a turbo premium trim, be strict about oil changes, cooling system behavior, and service records. A neglected turbo Buick is not a bargain. Inspect infotainment response, backup camera, heated seats, liftgate, climate controls, suspension clunks, transmission hesitation, oil seepage, tire matching, and evidence of auction life. Choose this one when you want quiet comfort, soft ride quality, and low-stress daily driving without Lexus money. The warning is that comfort features become bills when they fail, so test every switch. Also, pay attention to the owner's history. A calm, older owner. Envision with records is very different from a cheap luxury crossover that bounced between lots. The Envision is not exciting, and that is why it works. It lowers stress, not lap times. Number 9 goes in a different direction. More glass, more visibility, and winter confidence built into the whole shape. Number 9. Subaru Forester. The main buying reason is visibility, and for older drivers, that can matter as much as horsepower. A 2016 through 2018 Forester has upright seating, a tall greenhouse, big windows, and a clear sense of where the corners are. Kelley Blue Book shows 2018 Forester pricing starting in the mid-$14,000 range and climbing into the $17,000 range for higher trims. Here is why it matters. Many new SUVs have thick pillars, high belt lines, small rear glass, and blind spots that make older drivers depend on cameras just to park. The Forester gives you natural sightlines first. For buyers, that means lower stress in parking lots, better confidence at intersections, and a vehicle that feels easier before any driver assist warning beeps. Subaru's standard all-wheel drive adds bad weather value, especially in snow states, but tires still matter. All-wheel drive helps you move. Tires help you stop. The 2.5 boxer engine can last when the oil level, coolant, and service are watched. The CVT must behave smoothly, and all 4 tires should match. Inspect oil consumption, CVT fluid history, wheel bearing hum, suspension bushing noise, rust underneath, coolant smell, overheating history, battery strength, and eyesight function if equipped. Choose this one when you want clear visibility, winter confidence, easy parking, and an SUV that feels honest from the driver's seat. The warning is not to treat Subaru like magic. A Forester with low oil, mismatched tires, rust, or CVT shutter can become a bad decision fast. The buyer impact is daily confidence. You sit up, you see out, and you do not feel buried. That can be a safety upgrade for drivers coming out of low sedans or thick modern crossovers. The Forester is the window-first pick. Number 8 feels more polished, more controlled, and less like a utility box. Number 8, Mazda CX-5. The main buying reason is that it feels solid without feeling oversized. A 2017 through 2021 CX-5 gives older drivers clean steering, supportive seats, a manageable footprint, and a cabin that feels nicer than the price suggests. Kelley Blue Book values for a 2018 CX-5 often land in the mid-teens, depending on trim and condition, while the compact SUV average transaction price for new vehicles sits above $37,000. Here is why it matters. A used CX-5 can give a near-premium feel for less than half the average new compact SUV price. For buyers, that means you can get comfort, control, and a nicer interior without financing a new dashboard screen you never wanted. The reliability case starts with Mazda's naturally aspirated Skyactiv 4-cylinder engines and traditional automatic. I like that setup because it avoids small turbo heat on the common versions and avoids a belt-style CVT. The driving feel is normal, and normal is easier to inspect. You want smooth shifts, clean engagement, no delayed response, and steady temperature. Inspect rear brake wear, suspension knocks, infotainment screen behavior, control knob function, oil leaks, tire matching on all-wheel drive models, rust, and service records. Choose this one when you want controlled driving, simple controls, and a compact SUV that still feels enjoyable without becoming stiff or loud. The warning is fit. Some older drivers love Mazda's firm, planted feel. Others may prefer a softer Buick, Lexus, or Murano. A good used SUV should fit the body, not just the budget. The buyer impact is confidence. The CX-5 feels carefully screwed together, and that can make a used purchase feel like a reward instead of a downgrade. If the seat fits your back and the ride feels right, it can make every mile feel more secure. The Mazda is the controlled choice. Number 7 goes softer, wider, and more relaxed, but it comes with one warning you cannot ignore. Number 7, Nissan Murano. The main buying reason is seat comfort, but the main warning is the CVT. A 2015 through 2018 Murano can be a surprisingly pleasant used SUV for older drivers because it has big seats, smooth V6 power, a quiet cabin, and a relaxed highway ride. Kelley Blue Book places a 2018 Murano in the mid-teens in typical dealer condition, while new midsize SUVs average near $50,000. Here is why it matters. The Murano can deliver near-luxury comfort for used compact SUV money. For buyers, that means a soft ride, friendly entry height, and easy power without a new payment, but only if the drivetrain is healthy. The engine is not what worries me. Nissan's VQ-V6 is smooth, proven, and used across many Nissan products. The concern is the CVT. A well-maintained Murano with smooth behavior can be a good comfort buy. A neglected one can become a painful gamble. Test it cold and fully warm. From a stop, it should engage without delay. Under light throttle, it should pull cleanly. On the highway, it should not whine, surge, shudder, or feel like the engine is racing while the vehicle barely responds. Ask for CVT fluid service history. If the seller says it is sealed for life, that does not comfort me. Inspect engine mounts, control arms, air conditioning, oil leaks, tire condition, rust underneath, brake feel, and signs of hard family use. Choose this one when comfort matters most, and you are willing to walk away from any transmission warning sign. The buyer impact is simple. The Murano is a sofa choice, not a gamble. It works for smooth road drivers who want easy power and a relaxed cabin. It does not work for someone who ignores drivetrain symptoms because the seats feel nice. Comfort is not a bargain when the transmission is already asking for money. Number 6 is not really an SUV in the usual sense, and that is why older drivers quietly love it. Number 6, Toyota Venza. The main buying reason is easy entry without the tall SUV bulk. The 2013 through 2015 Venza sits in that strange middle ground between wagon, crossover, and tall Camry, and that is exactly why it works for older drivers. Kelley Blue Book shows a 2015 Venza starting around $10,000 for lower trims and rising into the low $13,000 range for a limited in typical dealer condition. Here is why it matters. Many buyers pay 3 or 4 times that for a new crossover when the Venza already gives them the height, comfort, and cargo ease they actually need. For buyers, that means Toyota parts support and roomy practicality without a truck-like step or a new SUV payment. The Venza sits lower than a Highlander but higher than a sedan. You do not climb up, and you do not fall down. The doors open wide, the cabin is broad, and the cargo floor is easy for groceries, walkers, luggage, or golf bags. Mechanically, I like the 3.5 V6 if fuel cost is acceptable, because it is smooth, strong, and tied to one of Toyota's best engine families. The 2.74-cylinder is cheaper to feed, but it works harder with passengers and highway merging. Inspect water pump leaks, timing cover seepage on V6 models, all-wheel drive service if equipped, suspension clunks, hatch struts, wheel bearing noise, vibration, dashboard condition, and climate control. Choose this one when you want Toyota comfort, easy entry, and wagon-like usefulness without buying a new crossover. The warning is that an old Toyota does not mean an automatic goodbye. Buy records, not reputation. A higher-mile Venza with maintenance can be better than a lower-mile one with mystery oil changes. The buyer impact is daily ease. It is one of those vehicles that makes real errands feel simple. Number 5 brings a premium badge, but the real reason to care is the Honda family hardware underneath. Number 5. Acura RDX. The main buying reason is premium comfort after luxury depreciation, without jumping into fragile luxury hardware. A 2016 through 2018 RDX gives older drivers a nicer cabin than most mainstream SUVs, but it stays easy to size, easy to park, and calm on the highway. Kelley Blue Book puts many 2018 RDX models in the mid to upper teens, depending on trim and condition, while a new Acura RDX starts in the mid-40s before taxes and options. Here is why it matters. The first owner paid for the badge, showroom shine, and early value drop. The second careful owner can get the smooth engine, better seats, and premium cabin for far less. For buyers, that means luxury depreciation can become your friend if the mechanical story is clean. The big reason I like this generation is the naturally aspirated 3.5 V6 and 6-speed automatic. No tiny turbo 4-cylinder working hard, no complicated performance image. Just smooth Honda family power in a useful SUV. The key warning is the timing belt. On Honda and Acura V6 engines, belt service is not optional if you plan to keep the vehicle. Ask for timing belt history, transmission fluid, rear differential service on all-wheel drive versions, and oil change records. Inspect power seats, liftgate, infotainment, sensors, suspension wear, brake vibration, tire quality, and rear diff groan in tight turns. Choose this one when you want premium comfort, Honda family durability, and a nicer cabin without a new luxury payment. The buyer impact is a quiet upgrade. It feels more expensive than mainstream choices, but the engine and transmission are still familiar enough that good independent shops understand them. The warning is not to chase the cheapest luxury badge. Luxury accessories can nickel and dime you, and premium tires cost more. Buy the documented one. The RDX is the sweet spot for older drivers who want nicer, not enormous. Number 4 gives more room, more family usefulness, and Toyota trust. Number 4, Toyota Highlander. The main buying reason is one vehicle practicality for older drivers who still carry people, luggage, and responsibility. A 2014 through 2016 Highlander gives friendly seat height, a calm ride, a useful cabin, and enough room for grandkids, airport runs, pets, groceries, church events, and road trips without becoming a full-size truck. Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds Values often put clean 2016 Highlanders in the upper teens to low 20s, depending on trim and condition, while a new Highlander can push from the high 40s into the mid-50s once trim, taxes, and fees show up. Here is why it matters. The savings gap can pay for maintenance, tires, insurance, and years of fuel. For buyers, the Highlander can replace a new family SUV without feeling like a compromise. The main reliability reason is Toyota's 3.5 V6. It is smooth, proven, widely serviced, and strong enough that the vehicle does not feel strained with passengers. That matters on highway ramps, mountain grades, and fully loaded trips. Inspect water pump leaks, timing cover seepage, transmission service, all-wheel drive service, rear hatch function, third row wear, suspension noise, brake vibration, tire wear, cargo water leaks, and interior abuse. Family SUVs can have perfect engines and cabins that live a war. Choose this one when you want a reliable used SUV that can carry people and cargo without a giant truck feeling. The warning is priceless. Highlanders are not cheap, and that is fine only when the records justify it. Do not pay Toyota money for a neglected Toyota. The buyer impact is trust. It is easy to explain to a spouse, mechanic, or family member because nothing about it feels weird or experimental. It is the practical family answer, not the flashy one. Number 3 is smaller, cheaper to feed, and probably the used SUV most older drivers already understand before they even drive it. Number 3, Honda CR-V. The main buying reason is easy ownership. and easy ownership is what keeps people calm. A 2012 through 2016 CR-V gives friendly seat height, light steering, good fuel economy, a low cargo floor, and controls that do not feel intimidating. Kelley Blue Book values for a 2016 CR-V usually sit in the low to mid-teens, depending on trim and condition, while a new CR-V starts above $32,000 and climbs quickly. Here is why it matters. The used CR-V can cut the price close to half, while keeping the basic usefulness older drivers actually want. For buyers, that means low drama, good resale, simple service, and a cabin that works for groceries, walkers, luggage, garden supplies, and family errands. The reliability case is the 2.4 Honda 4-cylinder. It is familiar, long-lasting, and simple enough for normal shops to service. The 2012 through 2014 models use a traditional automatic, while 2015 and 2016 models move to a CVT. Those later ones can still be fine. But I want fluid records and smooth behavior. Inspect air conditioning, rear differential service on all-wheel drive models, suspension noise, rust, oil leaks, engine vibration, brake wear, rear hatch function, spare tire well water signs, tire condition, and transmission behavior. Choose this one when you want the safe answer. Reliable, roomy, cheap to run, and easy to sell later. The warning is that obvious picks still need inspection. A CR-V with warm air conditioning, rough vibration, rusty underside, or skipped fluid service is not a pass just because the badge is Honda. The buyer impact is peace. Mechanics understand it, parts are easy, and the layout is familiar. The best ones feel ordinary in the right way, with no drama when you start, steer, stop, or merge. The CR-V is the easy recommendation. Number 2 raises comfort, quiet, and luxury feel, without forcing a brand new luxury payment. Number 2, Lexus RX 350. The main buying reason is quiet comfort without letting a new luxury payment eat the budget. A 2013 through 2015 RX 350 is the older value play, while the redesigned 2016 through 2018 models bring the newer 4th-generation cabin and styling at a higher price. Kelley Blue Book shows a 2016 RX 350 around the low to mid-20s in typical dealer condition, while a new Lexus RX starts above $50,000 and climbs fast. Here is why it matters. The used one can save roughly $30,000 while still giving the ride, seats, quiet cabin, and smooth power that made people want the Lexus in the first place. For buyers, that means comfort without the full, new luxury hit. The reliability reason is Toyota Lexus engineering, especially the naturally aspirated 3.5 V6 in these older versions. It is smooth, widely serviced, and proven across the Toyota and Lexus families. It avoids the small turbo complexity found in some newer luxury crossovers. But Lexus parts can still cost more than Toyota parts, and comfort features add inspection points. Check water pump seepage, timing cover leaks, transmission history, power lift gate, navigation screen behavior, heated and cooled seats, tire wear, brake vibration, suspension noise, and cheap repair signs. If you shop for a hybrid, add hybrid battery health and battery cooling fan cleanliness. Choose this one when you want quiet comfort, easy driving, and a cabin that lowers stress without destroying savings. The warning is maintenance timing. Luxury buyers sometimes sell right when bigger services do, so the cleanest looking RX is not always the smartest. The buyer impact is fatigue reduction. The RX is not exciting in a teenage way. It is exciting in an adult way. The seat feels right, the cabin stays peaceful, and the vehicle does not make every trip feel like work. The Lexus is the comfort king. Number 1 gives dealers an even bigger problem because it gives older drivers hybrid fuel savings, Toyota trust, and used pricing that makes the new payment harder to defend. Number 1, Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. The main buying reason is that it gives older drivers what dealers want to sell new: fuel savings, easy size, all-wheel drive confidence, and Toyota trust, but after depreciation has already helped. The 2016 through 2018 models are the value sweet spot, while 2019 through 2021 examples cost more, but bring the newer body style. Kelley Blue Book shows older RAV4 hybrid pricing from the high teens into the low 20s, depending on year and trim, with a 2016 limited hybrid sitting around the $19,000 range in typical dealer condition. Here is why it matters. A new compact SUV average is above $37,000, and new hybrid SUVs can climb fast once trims. Dealer add-ons, taxes, and fees join the party. For buyers, The used RAV4 hybrid keeps the Toyota hybrid advantage while leaving serious money in your pocket. Older drivers get easy entry, good visibility, familiar controls, strong resale, all-wheel drive confidence, and no plug-in routine. You do not need a charger. You do not plan life around range. You start it and drive. The reliability case is Toyota's hybrid system. The gas engine gets help from the electric motor, so it often works under less stress. Regenerative braking can reduce brake wear. The eCVT is not the same belt and pulley CVT that scares people in some other brands. It is Toyota's hybrid transaxle design, proven across Prius, Camry hybrid, Highlander hybrid, and RAV4 hybrid families. Inspect hybrid battery health, battery cooling fan cleanliness, all-wheel drive operation, service records, tire matching, brake condition, accident history, water damage, warning lights, and smooth transition between electric assist and gas power. Choose this one when you want the smartest balance of fuel savings, reliability, resale, easy ownership, and used SUV practicality. The warning is not to buy the cheapest hybrid. Buy the one with records, matching tires, clean fluids, and no mystery bodywork. Hybrid value is strongest when the history is boring. The buyer impact is the total cost. You save fuel, skip the new payment, keep the Toyota resale value, and still drive something that feels normal. That is why it earns the #1. It lets older drivers avoid the first depreciation punch while still getting the exact benefits dealers are using to sell new SUVs. That is the quiet win. Buyer cheat sheet. Here is the instead of new rule I would use before buying any of these SUVs. Do not ask which one looks newest, ask which one lowers stress and total cost. The Ford Edge is the roomy comfort bargain, best when you want wide seats and a quiet highway ride for far less than new midsize money. The Honda HR-V is the small, easy errand pick, best when parking, fuel cost, and tidy size matter more than power. The Buick Envision is the soft ride sleeper, best when you want calm comfort after depreciation has already punished the first owner. The Subaru Forester is the visibility pick, best when sightlines, winter confidence, and easy parking matter more than luxury. The Mazda CX-5 is the controlled drive pick, best when you want a used SUV that feels solid and still enjoyable. The Nissan Murano is the sofa choice, best when seat comfort matters and the CVT checks out cleanly. The Toyota Venza is the middle height Toyota, best when tall SUVs bother your body but sedans sit too low. The Acura RDX is the premium sweet spot, best when you want Honda family hardware with a nicer cabin. The Toyota Highlander is the family duty answer, best when you still carry people, luggage, and responsibility. The Honda CR-V is the obvious safe choice, best when you want simple ownership and good resale. The Lexus RX 350 is the quiet comfort king, best when fatigue reduction matters more than saving every last dollar. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is the smartest overall pick, best when fuel savings, reliability, resale, and easy size all matter together. Before buying, check seat height, door opening, visibility, tire cost, insurance, service records, transmission behavior, rust, fluid condition, warning lights, and whether the driver feels calm behind the wheel. That last part matters more than people admit. A vehicle can be reliable and still wrong for the person using it. Let the older driver park it, back it up, load groceries, adjust mirrors, enter and exit several times, and drive it on roads they actually use. A good used SUV should feel boring in the best way. Easy start, clear view, smooth shifts, comfortable seat, steady brakes, warm heat, cold air, and no drama. If the seller rushes the process, that is a warning. If the SUV smells hot after a real drive, slow down. If all-wheel drive models have mismatched tires, slow down. If the transmission flares, the CVT whines, the hybrid lights are on, or the service history is missing, keep your money in your pocket. The new SUV payment is not the only thing older drivers should avoid. They should also avoid buying someone else's neglected used SUV. The right used SUV has proof. Receipts are proof. Clean fluids are proof. Matching tires are proof. A cold start that sounds normal is proof. A dry underside is proof. A seller saying, "It has always been good to me," is not proof. That may be true, but it does not replace records. Also, remember that depreciation is your friend only when the vehicle is solid. A cheap luxury SUV with dead electronics is not a deal. A cheap Murano with a 6 CVT is not comfortable. A cheap Highlander with rust is not Toyota magic. A cheap hybrid with water damage is not a savings. The best older driver SUV is the one that makes life easier after the sale, not just cheaper on the day you buy it. That is why I like these 12. Each one has a reason to exist, but each one also has a warning. Smart buyers hold both ideas at the same time. If you owned one of these instead of buying new, tell us what you paid and how it treated you. Real owner stories help the next buyer avoid painful mistakes. One more thing before you shop, compare the real monthly cost, not just the sticker. A new SUV payment can look manageable until you add interest, insurance, taxes, registration, dealer add-ons, and the fear of scratching something expensive. A used SUV can look cheap until you add tires, deferred maintenance, brakes, fluids, battery, and inspection repairs. The winner is not always the lowest advertised price. The winner is the one with the lowest stress over the next several years. That is how older drivers should think. Fixed income, retirement savings, and peace of mind matter. A $30,000 difference between new and used can pay for maintenance for years, but only if the used SUV is chosen carefully. I would rather see an older driver in a clean CR-V, Forester, Venza, or RAV4 hybrid with records than a new SUV bought under pressure because the dealer made the payment sound small. Payments are not small when they follow you for years, and modern features are not helpful if the vehicle is too tall, too wide, too confusing, or too costly to fix. Keep the test simple. Can you get in easily? Can you see out? Can you reach the controls? Can you park it without stress? Does it shift smoothly? Does the seat feel good after 20 minutes? Are the tires quality tires? Are the records clear? Does your mechanic like the model? If those answers are good, then talk about the price. If those answers are bad, the badge does not matter. The older drivers winning right now are not trying to impress the showroom. They are buying vehicles that protect comfort, money, and confidence. That is why these used SUVs make sense. Not because new SUVs are bad, but because many older drivers simply do not need a new one to get what they actually use every day. Another rule older drivers should use is the body fit test. Do not let a salesperson tell you an SUV is senior-friendly because it sits high. High is not automatically easier. Too high can hurt knees, hips, and shoulders when you climb in. Too low can make you fall into the seat and push yourself out. The right height lets you slide in with control. The Edge, Envision, Venza, RDX, CR-V, RAV4 Hybrid, and Forester all land in different places, so the driver has to test them, not guess. Wear the shoes and coat you normally wear. Bring the walking cane, bag, or folded walker if that is part of daily life. Open the door fully. Sit down slowly. Close the door. Reach the belt. Adjust mirrors. Turn your head, then get out again. If that simple process feels awkward in good weather, it will feel worse in rain, ice, or a crowded parking lot. That is not a small issue. It is an ownership reality. A used SUV that saves money but fights your body is not the right SUV. I would also separate comfort from softness. Soft seats feel nice during a 5-minute test drive, but a bad seat can hurt after an hour. A soft suspension can feel luxurious at low speed, but if it floats, bounces, or makes the driver feel disconnected, that is not confidence. The Buick and Lexus are soft comfort picks. The Mazda is more controlled. The Forester is clear and upright. The Murano is relaxed, but the transmission has to pass. The RDX has a premium feel without going huge. The HR-V is small and easy but not quiet. The Highlander gives room, but some drivers may find it too big. This is why one-size advice does not work. The best SUV for one older driver may be wrong for another. A 70-year-old who still drives road trips may love the Lexus RX. A driver who only runs errands may be happier in the HR-V. Someone in snow country may feel better in a Forester. Someone who wants the best total cost may land on the RAV4 Hybrid. That is not confusion. That is matching the tool to the job. Price comparison also needs a clear head. New SUVs are expensive, but used SUVs are not free. When a used vehicle is 10 years old, small repairs become normal. A battery, tires, brake pads, wipers, fluids, spark plugs, and suspension parts are not scandals. They are the owners. The mistake is buying the wrong used SUV and calling every repair bad luck. Before buying, build a first-year repair fund into the price. If the Edge needs tires and PTU service, that is part of the real number. If the Venza needs hatch struts and a water pump, that is part of the real number. If the Forester needs 4 matching tires, that is not optional. If the RDX needs a timing belt, do not ignore it because the leather looks good. If the RAV4 Hybrid needs a battery scan, do it before you buy. The right used SUV should still beat the new payment after honest math. If it only wins before you add catch-up maintenance, keep shopping. Smart older drivers do not buy the cheapest listing. They buy the cleanest at the total cost. Insurance is another quiet detail. A new SUV often costs more to insure because the value is higher and sensors are expensive. A used luxury SUV can also cost more than expected because parts, headlights, bumpers, and electronics are not cheap. That means the Lexus RX may be a comfort bargain, but you should still call your insurance company. The Acura RDX may save big against new luxury, but premium parts still matter. The Ford Edge may look cheap, but all-wheel drive and trim level can affect the quote. The RAV4 Hybrid may have strong resale, and that can keep insurance higher than an older Buick. None of this means avoid them. It means call before buying. A 5-minute insurance quote can save you from a monthly surprise. Older drivers on a fixed income need predictable costs, not just a good deal on purchase day. Tires deserve their own warning because tires decide how these SUVs feel. I have seen people buy all-wheel drive because they want safety, then drive away on old cheap tires with cracked sidewalls. That is backwards. A front-wheel drive CR-V on quality tires can feel safer than an all-wheel drive SUV on bargain rubber. A Subaru with mismatched tires can stress the drivetrain. A Murano with cheap tires can feel floaty. A Mazda with worn tires loses the controlled feel that makes it good. A Lexus with low-quality tires can turn quiet comfort into road noise. Always check tire brand, date code, tread depth, and matching size. If the tires are weak, price new ones before buying. Tires are not a cosmetic detail. They are the part that touches the road. Finally, bring a mechanic into the process before emotions take over. Not every older driver wants to crawl under a vehicle, and they should not have to. A pre-purchase inspection can catch leaks, rust, suspension wear, accident repairs, weak batteries, bad brakes, and warning codes that a clean detail job hides. The seller may say inspections waste time. That is pressure, and pressure is useful information. A good vehicle survives inspection. A bad seller hates inspection. If the SUV passes, you buy with confidence. If it fails, you may have just saved thousands. That is the real reason older drivers are quietly buying used instead of new. They are not being cheap, they are being careful. Careful buyers do not chase the newest screen, the biggest grille, or the payment the dealer wants to sell. They buy the vehicle that fits their body, their driveway, their budget, their roads, and their real life. That is how you beat the showroom. Not by arguing with the dealer, by walking in already knowing what makes sense. One last ownership check is technology. Bigger screens do not always make driving easier. Some older drivers prefer knobs, real buttons, simple gauges, and a backup camera that works without 3 menus. Test radio volume, fan speed, temperature, defroster, parking sensors, phone pairing, and camera clarity while parked. If basic controls confuse you in daylight, they will feel worse at night. The right SUV should reduce stress, not add homework. Simple controls can be real comfort, especially when eyesight, reflexes, and patience are not what they were years ago. That matters every single day. Click the next video. These used SUVs prove comfort does not need a new payment. Subscribe, protect your money, and let dealers chase someone else.